Good morning. A very good morning to all my friends, to all the people who are watching me now. A very good morning to you all, and I hope you all enjoyed my previous programs. And today's theme is absurdness. People being absurd. Well, absurd means being irrational, being selfish, being what you may call it, being self-centered, being a person who's unjustified. Fine. This is something like being absurd. Alright. I've come across so many people who are absurd, very absurd. And I've got so many examples. I know of late people have been absurd as far as I'm concerned towards me. And today I'll speak regarding this term absurdness by giving you befitting examples of one should be absurd. Alright. There are certain people, when God blesses them, they capitalize on the blessing and very happy with that blessing, and they, what you may call it, go around telling people that this is a blessing to me. And especially in a relationship, right? People say, hey, this gentleman or this lady or this man or this girl is a blessing to me. God has blessed me with that person. Alright, everything goes fine, they call it a blessing. And somewhere along the line, that's a law of nature, things don't work out the way one expects them to work out. That's again but natural. Fine. And somewhere along the line, things go wrong. And then the same person who claims that person is a blessing to them by the Almighty. That same person with that same tongue starts cursing that blessing. They say, no, it's a curse. That's absurdness. That's absurdness. When things are good, you call that a blessing. And when things are bad, why things are bad? Why? Because one might be going wrong, or one didn't respect that blessing, one didn't regard that blessing. So when things go wrong, they call that same blessing a curse. That's one example of being absurd. That's ridiculous. You can't do such things. No, you got to be firm. You got to be firm. A blessing is a blessing. That's it, period. What come may, under any dire conditions, a blessing remains a blessing. When a person capitalizes and states to the entire world that this is a blessing, it's got to be that way. Just because things are not working out to your favor, you can't condemn that blessing and call it a curse. That's one act of being absurd. That's absurdness, period. It starts there, it ends there. No two ways about that. That's absurdness. Second, it's happened, I know someone, and my own experience, I was studying in a particular school, and then my parents changed me to another school. And there was a teacher, I don't want to mention her name, when I was a kid, man. And that teacher was absurd. Now you tell me, how was she absurd? That teacher used to condemn, used to humiliate particular students who belonged to the school which I was studying earlier on, alright? And that teacher didn't like the school. I don't know what reason she didn't like the school, but she used to condemn, she used to humiliate, she used to maltreat those students who were from that school. And you won't believe, right? It so happened that I was a very bright student in that previous school. And this school, right, I failed that year. I used to sit in that last bench. Because why? Because she used to condemn us, she used to discriminate us, she used to humiliate us. That's what you call absurdness. Her absurdness, okay, affected me because she was absurd. Because I don't know, she didn't like the school. She's a teacher, man. She's got to respect all the students alike. There shouldn't be no discrimination. Because she didn't like that school, so she didn't like the students of that school. And she started maltreating those students, right? That's an act of absurdness. You can't be absurd, no. Then, another thing is, children are being maltreated by parents. They have been really maltreated by parents. That's again absurdness. You know why? A child is defenseless. A child is defenseless. That child doesn't have the brain or doesn't have the sense or doesn't have the knowledge which an adult has got. An adult is an adult. A child is a child. But the parent or the adult expects the child to think the same way they are thinking, to be at par in so many ways, right? Suppose a child drops a glass. They go and spank the child. Why? Why spank a child? Elders too drop glasses. It's just an accident. Unguardedly they do it. And the children, they are not steady. That's bound, that's but natural. They drop things. And then children go and hit them. The parents go and hit them. That's being absurd. Taking undue advantage of a child who's defenseless. That's an act of absurdness. There are so many examples which parents are totally absurd towards the children. Or the elders are absurd towards small children. Why should I lie? Even I was absurd. To a particular child. And believe me, that guilt is still in me. That's because I was absurd to the child. Because I didn't like the child, I was absurd with the child. Or because I had my own issues, I was absurd with the child. And that ain't on. That's an act of absurdness. Then, another example of absurdness is, for example, you are dealing with someone. Let it be a mother, let it be a friend, let it be your girl, or let it be a boy. And something takes place, a misunderstanding takes place, okay? And what happens is things go wrong. And suddenly, out of the blue, they decide, no, because you're like this, I'm not going to associate with you anymore. Fine. That's an act of absurdness. You know why? Without confirming what transpired, you can't just disown somebody like that. That's another act of absurdness. And everybody in everyday's life, we go through so many aspects in life, so many fronts in life, where you can avoid being absurd. You just can't be absurd. You know, the simple way of not being absurd is put yourself in that place. Let it be a child. Put yourself in the child's place. Let it be somebody who you're dealing with in business. Put yourself in that person's place. Or suppose there's a relationship between a boy and a girl, and somebody told you something regarding that girl, and the girl conveniently capitalizes on those facts and decides to disown that person, okay? That's an act of absurdness. Confront that person. Confirm with that person. Did that person really do what he's been accused of? Put yourself in that person. Suppose that person does this to you. Would you like it? No. So try not to be absurd. Just try to think on the other person's plight. Put yourself in the plight of the other person and try to lead a life without being absurd. Because the consequences of absurdness is real bad. The person who's delivering, no, the person who's receiving it, right? It's really hell, man. So try not to make life miserable for others. Thank you very much and have a pleasant day. See you in my next program. Ciao.